Well, yeah, I'm a lifelong hip hop fan, of course. Grew up here in New York, born in '72, so I was perfectly timed to catch the very beginning when I was a little kid. And when I was about 16 years old, I was an idle youth with not much going on. My mom wanted me to find something to do for the summer, and I actually got turned down from the local McDonald's, and it's true. And so my mom heard on the radio about an internship at this station, WBAI, this sort of counterculture, non-commercial station. So I started working there in '89 when I was 16, and worked my way up in '91 doing my own show. It was their first hip-hop show. And I've been doing that ever since. It's New York's longest running hip-hop show, and from that kind of jumped into doing some hip-hop journalism. I was writing for The Source back in that summer in '91 when they were giving out $20 checks.
When it was a real magazine.
When it was small time and still real, yeah, before it got taken by the dark side. And was doing hip-hop journalism here and there, doing a little writing, then got into doing a blog. I started my website, hiphopmusic.com, in '97, got in early on the domain name, real estate, and turned that into a blog a few years later, so it was one of the first hip-hop blogs. I like to get into things early so that, like, my half-assed mediocrity is innovation just by default, you know?
Better things will filter up.
Exactly, right. And so I was doing that for about 5 years. About 2007, I was tired of textual blogging. Yeah, that was yesterday. So video blogging was just kind of starting to pop off, but there wasn't really any people of color in it, first of all, or anyone representing hip hop or the sort of cultural space I try to represent. So I sort of planted my flag in 2007, and there's something about having your face inside a box that has sort of a magic to it. Like, oh, it's a guy who's sort of on TV. We should listen now. So the same ideas I might say on my blog. Something about the visual medium draws people in. So it's been real cool.
So when you're recording these segments, are you shooting them all consistently, cutting them up, or like you do like each time there's a cut? Is it like I'm recording this piece, I'll write the next piece, and I record the next piece? Or because there is a definite rhythm to like how you cut it up and.
Hey, do you rehearse for the little interruptions?
Not. It's a sort of mix of spontaneous and contrived. I mean, it starts out, I'm watching something on TV or reading a blog, and I get really mad and start yelling at the screen. And then when that coalesces into enough of a rant that I think I should record, I just turn on the camera and start ranting, and I kind of compose it as I go along. Like I shout a couple of paragraphs, and I go back and watch and whittle it down and just try and fine-tune my little spasm of anger into something that's as concise as possible.
How to do that?
See, I have my cat, but my cat is just indifferent to that, as you saw.